monster, it means that all these kills are like so much more impactful in the early game. You get like he allows you to rosh really early. Like all of these things are an advantage towards this hero. Plus he's good against a lot of these heroes that are popular in the pool. Like he is the anti-carry of carries.
Yeah.
Like he's really good against these anti-mages, these faceless voids, these heroes that like have jumps. He just completely stomps them.
So do you think with now, as we're in this new meta of bans and picks, these cheese picks, as everyone says, is that just going to be more of a problem? Do captains now kind of need to keep these Meepos, these Huskars, these brood mothers always now in the back of their minds because these cheese picks seem, a little more prevalent? Well, they don't have as many bans to fall back on to kind of cover them. It seems like that they can just sneak through. So does this require captains now to just do more of their study work to make sure that if there are specialists on the other team, they need to keep these bans in check?
Yeah, you have to keep your options as open as possible at all times is the one thing I think that's kind of complicated as a drafter because there's so much to think about. Like, for example, like our team, we have Quickfoot who plays like 5 different types of cheese heroes, right? We have
Yeah.
like Visage, Broodmother, Lycan, Lone Druid. Like drafting against that has got to be annoying. Um, and then you have these other teams too. Like if you look at Adroit, like you just Southeast Asia especially has always been known for like godlike Meepo players, right? Like the
Mm-hmm.
best Meepo players always come out of Southeast Asia. Like you've got Abed that does it too. You had Mid One that could do it, uh, and so I mean this Dota's definitely gonna get a little bit weird nowadays.
There's definitely going to be a feeling out phase for a lot of these teams, and as we get to have more games under the belt, we'll find out exactly how the meta does unfold and if the captains are going to have to adjust how they draft things out significantly. We begin the early phase of this one. Have our support Boomy Clockwork. I love having the support Clockwork in that longer lane. When you are more often to be chasing down as a support, as a clock, getting all the time out of that battery assault is great. When clock typically gets stuck in the shorter lane, it's a bit awkward to work with. So it's one of those attributes that it's nice to see the support Clockwork these days over the off lane one of old. And he's been kind of keeping this Grimstroke in check for now, trying to help out the Pango Bach as best as possible. Working his off lane. He's got 8 CS under his belt right now. But it's Centaur on the other side, like you mentioned, who really has the laning phase behind him. First, the creep wave very far forward, but he is able to kind of work under the tower now and get some decent CS going his way.
Yeah, I think that Clockwork as a 3, the only time I ever see it work really is when Ice 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 tries it.
Yeah.
Other than that, like he played it twice, I think, at the summit, and he was a beast. But other than that, like I really dislike it as a 3 position. Like the laning phase is really hard. It's kind of like playing Darkseer, where you're like, okay, well, I guess we're just gonna give a core free farm. Like you
Yeah.
can't really deny a lot of CS. No core really feels that threatened by Clockwork either.
Clockwork's still been seeing a lot of game time, though. Certainly with Shadow Fiend also coming into the meta, I've been seeing plenty of the old Clockwork Shadow Fiend pairings, building up those early cog powers. In this case, obviously not working on the same team. They're scoping out the bottom lane. Very dry action early off in this one. Both mid laners getting a lot of CS under their belt. Bottom lane still advanced pretty far forward. Ricky's at 10-4 as Centaur's starting to outpace him a bit in the CS game. It's got to feel pretty good. But the first blood is going to be going to that Clockwork as he's able to get the successful chase down onto Whitemon. Grimstroke has really been feeling the pressure of the opposing support here, making it very challenging for him to kind of have the back of Faceless Void.
Yeah, as soon as he gets caught out of any sort of position and they get a proc on the Pango, he's going to die every time. So he sort of has to play behind the creep wave. I will say, by the way, I don't know if this is like an automatic Meepo win. I still think that SF is one of the best lane matchups against the Meepo because you push out the lane really fast. What Meepo really likes to do in most lanes is he comes to the lane, he farms it out really quickly, and then he goes to the jungle. But Shadow Fiend does that just as fast, if not faster, and he pressures the Meepo with the raises. So you get a hero that doesn't love being in this position very often. Like you see that the Shadow Fiend right now, like he can push out his own wave and then immediately just come in and pressure the shit out of the Meepo. Like he does not want to be in this mid lane right now, so he's just jungling, and SF's just gonna get pretty good free farm. Like for Meepo, you want static lanes to play against a hero that can't push out as fast as SF does.
Is this one of the best times for SF players to be playing in the mid lane? I mean, I know there's been the glory days of SF mid lanes, but is he kind of back now? Is he in a good spot that we're just going to be seeing plenty of relevant SFs back in action?
I think he's pretty good. He's one of the heroes that like scale really fast in terms of XP. He's a tower hitter, which especially in this meta is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, everyone just likes playing Shadow Fiend. That has to lend some credibility to the hero. Like, there's just some heroes that like are not that fun to play mid, but Shadow Fiend's always fun to play.
A little bit of a trade over the bounty runes a bit, but it's just split for now. There is still one bounty to be picked up here on the side of GeekFam to make it an even split, but acknowledging for now it's Raven who's going to get dropped. Boomy picks up another one, this time grabbing the core, and Adroit's presence is known for sure in this top lane. Aggression towards the bottom a bit, as Zephyr is just trying to bully back this Chen. Chen's been pretty isolated, working his way through his own jungle front for now, but it looks like the approach is going to be coming out. They hit him with the disruption, but don't really have enough follow-up. Centaur, of course, no boots yet, going full tank mode. He's got the ring on already, and just happy to kind of hold his own in the laning phase. He'll just kind of bulk up later on and be a presence. Meanwhile, top lane, push back there from Boomy. Created a little bit of space in case Pango was under a bit of threat. But things kind of idle, especially towards the southern half of this map. Anything in particular we should be seeing from this Chen? He's been just kind of hanging out in the jungle for a bit. We don't see him really add any extra approach to the mid lane, not ganking around. Is this, he's just buying his time for now? This is what we want to see?
Yeah, I think he actually just completely chills. Like he's not under any sort of duress to make any sort of moves. They're probably not going to kill this Centaur unless he really messes up. So his best chance is probably just like to farm out. Although Mac is going for it. Cuckoo's getting low-ish, but he's got a ton of armor, got more than enough regen. And you already see like right now why the Meepo is considered so strong. He hasn't been laning a lot. In fact, like the SF has denied him 2 waves, and he's still at the top of the charts when it comes to net worth. Like handily too. He's up by like 200-300 gold, and that lead just continues to grow as he gets more Meepos up. He's gonna farm even faster, get even more stacks, get into the jungle even deeper, and then at some point he gets E-Blade and just kills everybody. Because Faceless Void can't really do anything. Your only escape against Meepo is to Chrono and run out. That's really it. Like, you have to wait for the nets to be over. You can't time walk out. So that means without BKB or Chrono up, you're pretty much just sitting duck. And in this game especially, you don't want to use Chrono defensively at all.
Mm-hmm. So does that add pressure on GeekFam? Certainly the support staff to do something to this Meepo, you know, just kind of at least get some vision down, scout him out, stop him before he's able to kind of lay down this immense amount of farm and economy game. It looks like on that queue we do see Shadow Demon and Shadow Fiend rolling through, scouting out exactly where the hell is this Meepo, what is he doing, and let's see if we could take away some gold from him.
They 100% have to do this.
Yeah.
I think my least favorite thing, especially in pub games, is you see this Meepo farming, and you're just like, okay, he's going to AFK farm. What are we going to do about it? Supports, you have to make some sort of play, because the game is no longer your standard Dota game where your mid hero gets a lot, their mid hero gets a lot. That's fine, because Meepo is the win condition for most games. Like, once it's a Meepo game, it's like, all right, that's the centerpiece of the draft. But instead, it's going to go the other way around. Is Adroit's going to bring in Boomy.
Yep.
Meepo's going to try to find the angle too. Pango's here as well.
Yep. Rolls right through him. After popping the wand, the clockwork
nice.
certainly going to be fine. He makes it to the high ground with the help of the Centaur Stampede. That Shadow Fiend is gone. Shadow Demon is going to be the one left behind, but certainly happy.
Oh, no, I think he pushed him out.
Too soon. He's bumped out in a way. He turns the corner. Shadow Fiend comes over and hits him with a raise to the face.
Boomy, what are you doing?
Wow.
Oh, that wasn't pretty. I think he also dodged a net, by the way, with the new illusion rune.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's like a mini Manta.
Yeah.
You have a mini Manta in your bottle.
That was sick.
Oh, illusion rune used to be just such low stock unless you were like some early axe or something.
Yes.
But now, wow, it's a playmaking rune.
It was one of the most like meh runes that you could get. Like, you didn't really like it aggressively. Defensively, it was whatever. There are some heroes that I really liked it on, like when I got to play like Viper, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And late game, it's really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, you can push out all the waves. But in the early game, for the most part, you were just like kind of disappointed. It was a free bottle charge. That's really what it represented.
I'm ready for the first big convenient play where they go for the rune, it spawns, it's illusion, they pick it up, and it's a convenient like Manta dodge to save his life.
That'd be so sick.
It's going to happen at some point for damn sure.
And Bach's going to go for it. Although I'm not really sure what he's...
He pulled the trigger, but he didn't feel great, and he shot in the air real quick, and he's like, warning shot. Warning shot on that one. But that does mean Rolling Thunder is going to be on cooldown, and immediately the smoke comes out from the fam of Geeks, and they head right to the high ground on the other side. They might even be able to cut him off. They're looking for Pango on the way out, maybe.
They're waiting for him to come for the bounty rune. This is actually a really smart play by
It's
GeekFam.
outpost time, too.
Yeah, this is really well done by them if they get the kill here, but
He makes it to the low ground.
they need Raven for this.
No, they're just going to commit the chrono to secure. They don't have enough DPS, though.
He's got 9 charges. He's perfectly
Wow.
fine. Their
All right.
lineup actually has real big damage issues, by the way.
Yeah. Without nuking power coming out from those supports, you have nothing to offer until you have the economy to build up these items. So, well, you got your ult. I'll take mine. No one really is going to have any bloodshed here, and the game goes on.
You need... Normally you have with this combo like a Lich or a Skywrath Mage or something like that as the immediate TP by the Chen. Carl was thinking about it, but won't get it off in time.
Oh, they're going to go for Centaur bottom lane. Nice hook shot set up there from Boomy. Centaur trying to chop his way out, able to get it, but Mac is right there and drops him. Big pickup for them. That's Android's 3rd kill of the game.
Yeah, now this game is... Once Meepo gets his E-Blade, like he's going to probably start looking for the Faceless Void. And if I'm Void, my timing has to be quick. Like I'm going... like he's going Maelstrom. I think that's fine. I see a lot of people start going back for like the Battle Furies now, but I think Maelstrom and then just immediate BKB. Like you have to be able to fight against the Meepo early. And if you can delay his timing, you win like the first 2 fights against him, you're suddenly in a much better position.
What are the thoughts about Meepo with the new Boots of Travel? I haven't heard anyone mention about it because, Boots of Travel obviously no longer has the active.
Yeah.
So they can't just spam poof. And also with Tinker, that totally changes his whole game.
I think the only hero that actually gets it nowadays is like Tinker. I don't know. I don't love the new travels. I feel like they're super underwhelming. Because before, the best part about travels by far was the ability to like, you push out a lave, you go back to your base, and then you could just like rinse and repeat that, and you are your own mini Tinker in that regard.
Yeah.
And also like you stop all split push, but now, like you sort of still have to go it against like a lot of split push, but it just feels a lot more underwhelming.
Hook shot.
Oh look, like Void's just dead. You can't do anything.
Dang.
This is the hardest. If you're playing Faceless Void or Anti-Mage against Meepo, your life just feels terrible.
Charges out bottom lane. You're going to take one of ours. We're going to try to get one of yours. They make their move for Ricky. There's the dust. Yeah, he's really making him work for it.
Oh, he's gonna get a kill.
But he gets one.
I know.
Wow.
Can you imagine if he missed up there? If he misses off the smoke cloud, he might actually live there. And they're gonna try going on the Shadow Fiend. They do have vision of him. He's gonna get bounced out once. They don't quite know where he is, and there's no dust. And
No, there's not.
thought about popping the ulti.
I wonder if they were actually nervous about the Requiem, or they just figured they didn't have the vision. We're going to move on from here. Either way, Shadow Fiend going to be fine. Moves his Requiem right to the mid lane.
Into it.
Woo! Fires it off. Half his life going to be decimated. Hits him with a raise. Needs a bit more. Can't quite catch up. And the space is going to be created.
There's a rock, and E-Blade's going to hit, but he's just going to sit Shadow Bladed in mid.
Oh, they get forced back. Dang. But yeah, struggle right now for GeekFam. Ult's back online now for the Faceless Void. They want to try to make something out of it. Mentioned the Maelstrom, which he is going for. Hook shot there from Bombi, looking to set things up so the rest of his team can catch, but the Rimstroke's an easy pick. Uh-oh, Meepo looks like he's spotted. Shout even gets a double net. Self-disruption. Centaur's now left. Gets the stomp off. Heads out the other side. But with Ricky there, able to get it done. Raven steps in. Drops down the chrono. They're looking to burst fire at least one Meepo. Hand of God's there.
Nice.
It's not enough, though. They finally bring down the big piggy bank of Meepo. It costs them Cuckoo. And they quickly make a hasty retreat. But Boomy and Mac on the chase here.
Ooh, they didn't do the combo. What you need to do is you cogs in the Void and then you smoke screen on top of them. And that's a kill. But really nice for GeekFam. They needed something like that. They had to slow down the Meepo using the Chronosphere there. Because if you look at the net worth alone, 1K behind from the Shadow Fiend. And he's been farming really well. He hasn't died this game. It's just the nature of the hero. Like, Meepo's going to out-farm you. He's mini Alchemist in that regard.
Yeah. Shadow Fiend is grinding away as much as he can. He's got the Shadow Blade and then a BKB on cue next. Bottled Illusion. So, Pseudo Manta ready to go just in case. But obviously, GeekFam need a bit of a cooldown phase. Adroit know that, so they take their opportune moment to move into the Roche Pit and get that started.
Yeah, they've got a Vlad's.
Oh, mid lane.
Oh.
Disruption. Beautiful setup right there, and they blast down the clockwork. Max also been spotted. But, you know, maybe just more of a diversion. Because Adroit
Oh, they
are
know.
going in.
They know.
How
They spotted
fast?
with the courier.
Oh, it's not even close to dead.
No,
they
it's
got to
not.
get over there. GeekFam on the way. Uh-oh.
They got Stampede.
Oh,
They missed.
hook shot missed. So they got to move in anyways. Let's see if they get done. Centaur right at the front porch of the Roche Pit, getting shoveled down from Meepo and can't make it out. Finally blasted apart. Meepo goes right back to business inside the Roche Pit to get it finished. And GeekFam can't do anything of it. They knew it was happening. They tried to make an approach, but...
That was not my favorite Stampede that I've ever seen. Like, he had nobody else behind him. That was so ambitious by Cuckoo, who just got way ahead of himself. Like, thought that the rest of his team was going to connect a lot sooner.
I don't know, maybe they were
Able to
expecting
do so.
Adroit to be a bit more of a disarray. Like, oh no, we lost a couple of our allies in the mid lane. We better second guess our commitments, but they were
Wait,
not second guessing commitments. They were in all the way.
I think... Wait, does he realize? I think he... No, he's got to realize.
What?
He's left the neutral item behind, and he's not sure where it is.
Where?
Okay, he got it. He had it at top. The Meepo, he had sent his illusions to farm, and he wasn't sure where the clumsy net was.
Ah.
That item, by the way, owns. It's
Oh.
like 2 mana regen.
Cuckoo just picked up one of his own, too.
Yeah, 2 mana regen is really nice.
What is the current, like, hot neutral item? There have been a couple of
Let me load
tweaks
him
a
up.
bit, but
Oh.
at least in the early part of the game where we could possibly stand now, I know Brooch had been considered a very popular item for quite a bit. I'm still learning a lot of these neutral items myself. This is very new-gen Dota.
Tier 1 items. Let's see. I don't hate Iron Talon anymore. Like, the ability to do Ancients is kind of nice for a lot of heroes. When it comes to, like, the Tier 2 items, you're not really sad about, like, picking up
Mid lane.
Aquila and stuff like that. I think Essence Ring is really nice. Oh,
Some trouble potentially for Centaur, but Meepo is actually not able to chunk him down. They'll have to settle for Whitemon instead, but they suffer no retaliations there. And neutral items are now flying out that the discussions come up at Dragon Scale. Now
I'm
gonna
whatever
fall on the
about that
floor.
item.
I know they did raise the drop rate essentially for the first couple of tiers of items, so you'll be seeing them a bit more frequently.
I actually think I dislike... Speaking of good items, like bad items, oh, they found Shadow Fiend. He's just
That's
dead.
a great find right there. It's Bomi to kind of move in and get it set up. Cogs are going to be dropped, and there's nowhere for Shadow Fiend to run. Burst it apart. It's Natsumi who picks it.
They should go high ground. I think you actually just go high ground here. You're so strong.
Yeah, this is a power peak for you, if you will.
Like, if you're a Joy, I wouldn't be worried about anything. Just keep going.
Jump in. Grimstroke should be an easy pick, and the net is there to catch the
pushes him
Centaur.
out.
He tries to stampede, but he's totally locked in place. Disruption there to help bail him out. Hand to God.
That was weird.
Natsumi a little low here.
It bounced Whitemon out. That was odd. I think he hit his way out and then, oh, they lose the Aegis.
This is very awkward.
Yeah, this is not... They used Hand of God, too. I think they just want to get out now. That was a really awkward attempt. I think they should have just gone for the tier 2, but a little bit sloppy.
And they didn't even get the tier 2 for their troubles. That's got to be a bit of a morale boost here for GeekFam. They have ults online now. Adroit are a bit withered from their previous skirmish, so let's see if GeekFam kind of take it to them. They're drawing it out on the map. Push out the mid lane, and let's follow through the Adroit jungle and see what we can catch. Max currently at the bottom, and they are beelining it down right now. Raven leading out the charge, but Mac has already stepped away. They don't even have any vision over there. Lots of GeekFam wards all through the southern half of this map.
Yeah. Speaking of which, they just found a Grove Bow. Like, who really wants that item? I guess you could give it to your Chen, but even then, like, I think I would prefer him to have something else. Like, if I'm Chen, I would... you could have... I don't know, even, like, Vampire Fangs for, like, the 250 Night Vision might be better.
Yeah, the Grobow's like attack range, right?
Yeah, plus 15 attack speed, and then you get... you reduce magic armor by, like, 12% or something, or, like, your attacks deal 12%.
Unfortunately, no one on their team really seems to have a calling for that item.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it helps Meepo with those like poofs, but you have a lot of physical damage.
So is there a point when GeekFam can kind of just out-muscle Adroit? I mean, the Meepo can rise and then potentially fall. Could we see a late-game resurgence of the Raven Faceless Void once the items begin to all come together?
Yeah, I think once you get BKBs, I think once you grab a lot of your BKBs, you're going to be feeling pretty good. But Raven is opting to go for more damage. I think that one fight, you know, where he caught the Pango and he's like, I actually don't kill anybody. I need to pump out more damage. Right now, I like how he's thinking. He's thinking like, we want to jump them. We don't want them to jump us. I don't want to have to use BKB or Chrono defensively. So might as well just all in for an offensive item, make sure that we kill this Meepo during the Chrono. Because that's the only way they're going to win the game anyways.
GeekFam take their business all the way now towards the northern half of the map after just providing a lot of vision towards the other side. They will see Adroit's movement through the mid lane here. I'm curious to see how they could possibly converge. Just past the outpost time, as we see they reclaim the northern one.
I'll say if they're within like 10k at like 35 minutes, I could see them winning this game pretty handily.
Yeah.
But the timing is always going to be strong for this Meepo for the time being. Like he's until Void gets a BKB, he's still going to be really strong. And it just takes one fight from their lineup to end the game.
BKB season's almost here, but will a fight come out early? Boomy moves in, gets the setup for Raven. Raven.
This is an awkward fight.
Backs out in a way. Bach moving in with the Rolling Thunder and then is able to pull himself out from the trouble.
This is, I'm not sure what that was. Like they hookshot it onto Raven, but they didn't really attempt to kill him because they knew that the Shadow Demon Disrupt was going to be there.
Yeah.
So the Ricky didn't want to commit because he didn't want to just get stuck in a position where he could get chronoed. So everyone just sort of reverse position.
Maybe trying to bait out some spells from GeekFam defensively and relying on the shorter cooldown of the hook shot, but whatever the case may be, GeekFam were not biting. Just shrugged that attempt off and have pushed themselves now past the river. And Adroit will have to look for another opening if that's what they're seeking. For now, just kind of reclaiming the farm back through the top half of the map, and each team will go their separate ways. But you know, as time goes on, I'm not seeing Adroit's farm push much further past GeekFam. So
no.
They're playing against the clock. They'll get the tier 2 top lane. It helps things a bit, and now they can add simultaneous pressure, maybe bouncing between the mid and top lanes in an attempt to draw GeekFam back home.
There's a BKB on SF now. You are witnessing one of the big flaws of their lineup on Adroit is that they don't have really easy ways to initiate. Aside from like clock hook, you can see that this Bach Pangolier just tries to like roll in from the back line, but he's not really catching anybody. And two of their cores don't really come with like built-in stuns. They have this like diffusal combo, which sort of works, and Mac might get a kill here.
Yeah, it's a cute little grab for Grimstroke.
And Zephyr actually doesn't use his disruption to save the Grimstroke, and that might actually just cost 2 lives. He's finally going to use it for the Centaur.
But
here comes the SF ult.
Damage may have already been done. Raven looking to go in now. Gets a big chrono, but is the damage going to be there to go for the finish? Is able to secure the takedown of Meepo. Is that going to be enough for him, though? Clock drops down the cogs, locks in the two of them, and now they fire from the outside and finish them both off. It's still going to be Adroit's fight, even though they lost the Meepo.
That was a really nice chrono. He wasn't able to get anything off from Chen because he was caught in it too. But still, it just cost them so much to kill that Meepo.
And it's not like they're going to get anything from the follow-up. It's Adroit pushing it through this mid lane now.
This is going to be tier 2 tower, and I think Roche is about to respawn. If you're GeekFam, again, you have to wait on this chrono. So if you're unlucky with this Roshan, which they will be, it'll respawn in 2, 1. It'll be up, and there's still 2 minutes and a half on the chrono. You don't have your Requiem either. It's just a weird position to be in. And in fact, they've caught the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, on the other side, Boomy's also moved in and gotten a great catch.
Pretty close to the base too.
What
they don't quite have the creep wave, but
back for Roche?
Yeah,
to the high ground? What do you want to do? There's no chrono.
I would be kind of down for Roche, honestly.
All right, all right. I mean, they haven't really committed either way yet. They're still flirting around this mid lane. They still have some pressure coming top. We'll see what it pulls back at this point. Shadow Fiend looking to, scout what's happening here.
I think that Roche is always just a safe play.
Yeah. Certainly will make your follow fight that much easier. But they don't seem hard committed to go really one way or the other at the moment, Blitz. They're about to. Little Golem's going to see what's going on. Hey,
Okay.
what's happening here?
He's going to poke his head in.
Roche is here, boys.
Yeah. I don't think a support kill is necessarily good enough for them to immediately go high ground. I think they ideally want to grab like one more core if they can.
Yeah, but Adroit, can they make a significant fight happen before this Faceless Void gets that BKB finish too? Like that's going to be a
I don't think
nice pickup.
I don't think they thought of the early spawn is one thing. They probably didn't think it was going to spawn that quickly, and so they might have just wasted the timing that they had. They had like a full minute to go for that Roche.
And now it's
instead Raven's
certainly
come
too late. Look at GeekFam. They have smoked up, and they are going cross-country now to see what is shaking up on this half of the river. We'll see the illusion. Not taking the bait there.
Yeah, and this is going to be the smoke popped. I mean, as soon as the courier flies in, they have to know they're going to contest this. So this smoke is just about positioning, trying to like regain as...
Hook shot in. They catch out Carl.
That's
He's
the BKB.
forced to
Both
pop
supports
the
on the back.
BKB, and it's the Rolling Thunder locks down both supports and takes them out immediately. This is devastating for GeekFam. They're going to have to dish out the Requiem now. Jumping from Raven, looking to try to mend this battle as best as possible. The hand of God.
No one's dying.
Everyone coming out. It's CML, the paramedic on the back lines, assisting the Meepo and keeping him alive and well. GeekFam seem to be crumbling here. Can they manage to get anyone down? Finally, they'll finish off the Ricky, but it is Natsumi who cleans house. Double kill for him, and they keep fighting forward. Makes it a triple. Shadow Fiend out. There is buybacks available.
Look at
but
that range.
This could be the beginning of the end. Nice grab there from Bach, and that Shadow Demon down.
Now you can take a Rex.
Oh, yeah.
I think this might actually be 2 sets. And they can still get Roshan off of this too.
So possibly you have to expend the buybacks here if a second set is going to be threatened. But right now, Adroit feel like there's no reason why they can't just kind of keep this party going. Where are they going to head? North? Looks like it.
This Meepo is so tanky. He's got E-Blade, still kept his circlets, treads, he's got a heart.
Freaking Vamp Race even.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's got the Chen. He's got 2 different Chen heals. He's got Vlad's. I mean, this guy is insanely stacked right now. He's going to get teleported into the Roche pit. The Shadow Demon will know that it's happening, but with no Chronos here, I mean, if you weren't winning with a Chrono there, you probably aren't taking this fight, and you have to go into retreat.
Yeah, you need to be able to catch out the Chen, take him out of commission, because obviously he's providing these heroes with second, third lives, as it seems, as we check out the replay there. Chrono's there, but look at Chen.
Yeah.
He's just there, and he's like, do what you can, but I'm just going to power through all of the healing I can. And at that point, there was no more firepower for GeekFam to get the job done.
I think the supports on GeekFam messed up their positioning.
Oh,
They're
so
way
close.
too far forward.
Yeah.
That was like the freest initiation. It was like, okay, well, I guess we have an immediate 3-on-5.
I mean, it felt very panicky, because it's the Clockwork who got the catch onto the Shadow Fiend, as he does the same here.
All that does is like reveal that they have a ward.
And, you know, the support staff were just, like, rushing in, like, we must be there to help. Unfortunately, it was Pango, Bach, who got the beautiful roll in and caught both supports, took them out before they could offer any sort of defense. And now it seems like it's all Adroit here with 23K of a net worth advantage at this point.
And they're going to look for Shadow Fiend.
He's just trying to split waves, draw out the clock. But it's a manhunt now.
I like it. I think he's doing pretty much everything he can at this point.
Yeah.
And, oh, he's dead.
And he's been spotted.
Oh.
We'll
Maybe
see
he's
if
going to
he
be
can
okay.
find a way out of this one. Still has the BKB. You don't want to ideally be using it here, but he's got to if he wants to find a way out.
Oh, the stun!
That's the bash of Pango?
The bash.
Damn.
That's rough.
They're throwing the nickels at him and everything. But, you know, what did it create? A little bit of space for GeekFam to pressure out the top lane a bit and the mid lane a bit. But, you know, Adroit already has their crosshairs set on this bottom lane where there's still a free tier 1 to pick up a tier 2 shortly thereafter.
I like that phrase a lot.
Which one?
They threw nickels at him.
The tips?
I
Yeah.
enjoyed that.
Oh, here we go. Mid lane. Mac.
You're dead.
Yeah, Centaur's not even looking like a big siege tank at this point.
So this was a nice Meepo game. We got to see what Meepo does.
GeekFam now remembering, okay, yeah, Meepo's the thing. Meepo's the thing. We gotta, consider that in
You're
the
just shaking
ban
off the
Rolodex.
cobwebs.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just like
yeah.
everyone. It's like a rite of passage. It's like, okay, we got Meepo'd. That happens.
They did play each other just like the other day in a full 5-game series. I'm sure they're scrim partners.
Oh,
So,
Raven's dead.
GeekFam probably just unfortunately let that one slide through. It's just a first game. There we see it's
Yeah, they're just
nonstop.
gonna call
Raven goes. There's like, okay, without Raven, there's nothing we can do for damn sure. And it's certainly going to be game 1 for Android.
Damn.
Still look like they got GeekFam's number.